Today, I'm going to walk you through my 5 best Google Ads campaigns. I'm going to show you exactly how I set them up and exactly why they're generating so much revenue. As you can see, the campaigns in this live walkthrough that I'm going to take you through today have generated over $1.4 million in revenue over this period of time. Now, these are some very, very high performing campaigns, and I cannot wait to dive in and show you just how they work. If you don't know who I am though, my name is Max and I'm from Crakanthorp, where we have generated our clients millions of dollars in revenue using Google Ads. If you are looking for some help with your Google Ads, please feel free to book a call down below. But otherwise, I will jump right into the content here and show you guys just what we've been doing in this account. So you can see the top 5 campaigns actually laid out right here in front of you underneath these 5 visible campaigns, right? So the very first one that we do have active is the brand search campaign, right? You can see all of these are AU relevant, so that represents Australia because this brand is an Australian brand and they benefit the most from Australian traffic. So that is why they're all AU labeled. However, the rest of the labeling in the campaign titles also shows what kind of campaigns they are. And this one is our brand campaign. Now, I've sorted these campaigns by conversion value, so you can get an idea of just how much each campaign is generated and what their relevant ROAS figures are, right? So this current window of time we're looking at is from November 1 to December 11 over the end of last year, right? So this was the Black Friday, Cyber Monday period. It was definitely the biggest point of the year for the brand. Also the early holidays, early December. It's a really big buying period. And for this brand specifically, they got a lot of demand throughout this time of year. So we had to make sure that we were fully capitalizing on it in the Google Ads account. And that is exactly what this structure does, right? So as you can see here, we started with our brand campaign. Now, a brand campaign, if you're not familiar, is there to target just your branded terms. So it shows you, it basically aims to target and show a search ad to anyone who's looking for your exact brand name. So if you are running a golf product store and your name is maybe Gary's Golf, you would want to be targeting the search terms such as Gary's Golf without a space, or Gary's Golf Store, anything like that that is directly relevant to your brand name. And if you start, and when you target these keywords, right, on typically exact match, potentially phrase match, depending on how broad you want to go with it, but you target these in a search campaign to make sure that anyone who searches for your brand name is shown an ad directly for your website. Now, if you find that you ever get any traffic coming in from terms that are not exactly relevant to your brand name, what you can do is you can exclude those terms to make sure you're just getting branded traffic, which is a really good idea because getting branded traffic all solidified into a single campaign or multiple campaigns in this case, having clear attribution of where your traffic is going into specific brand campaigns can make a very, very big difference in your performance in the account, right? So that is our brand search campaign. And it generated a whopping $470,000 in revenue over this, just over a month there, right? So the reason it generated so much was because this particular brand was running a lot of ads on other ad platforms as well, such as Meta, TikTok, Snapchat, which resulted in a lot of people searching up the brand name and going through to convert through our Google Ads. Now, some people may think this is a waste of money, but when I look at these figures and realize there was only $1,400 spent for $471,000 generated, and also $471,000 worth of conversion data, it is an absolute no-brainer to me, right? This is running at a 300 return on ad spend, so absolutely out of this world, really, really high. And it was generating an enormous amount of data for us to feed into the YouTube algorithm, the Google algorithm rather, and then retarget our cold acquisition ads to people who look similar to our high intent customers on the brand campaign. Now, quickly, before you move on, I wanted to bring something to your attention. I have recently developed a product called the Ecom Revenue Search Masterclass, which is a full masterclass on how to create a Google Ads account that is going to be highly profitable and highly efficient. It's a step 0 to finish process. I go through every single step along the way. I even show you how to click the plus create campaign button, genuinely every step you could ever need to set up a full Google Ads account that is going to be highly efficient, and highly profitable if you follow all of the instructions. If you're interested in something like this, please click the link down below and I will give you a full 5-page preview of what I have to offer in the link, completely free. All you have to do is enter email and you'll get a completely free document. Next up, we had our shopping generic AU campaign. Now we just use the term generic here to indicate non-branded traffic, right? And this is a shopping campaign that's targeting everyone searching for our product who is not searching for our specific brand name, right? Now, this was our second biggest revenue generator, making $200,000 in conversion value over just over a month, with only $5,000 in spend, which again, absolutely ridiculous return on ad spend here of 46.36 on non-branded traffic is crazy, I know. This brand had a particular advantage at the time where their brand name was highly relevant to the product itself. So basically, whenever anyone searched for the product, their brand name made it appear and made it very clear that they were the best choice for someone wanting to purchase a specific product, right? And this is why our generic shopping campaign or our non-branded shopping campaign had such high performance. Also, this brand was absolutely at the top of their market and was the singular no-brainer choice. It really was the highest quality, most benefits, and just the best option for most consumers to pick, right? Now, the way that we structured this campaign is we had a standard shopping campaign that we created. We selected our highest performing products to be active in this campaign, although this store only sells one main product. There were a couple of secondary products which we included as well. And what we did was we excluded all branded traffic, right? Because we want all of our branded traffic to go to the search campaign and also the shopping campaign here, we excluded all branded traffic from our generic or non-branded shopping campaign, right? And that allowed us to focus particularly on non-branded traffic. And even beyond that, we also made some efforts to exclude past website visitors so we could really focus on new customer acquisition and reaching new people with this shopping campaign, right? So this was the biggest thing that we did with this campaign was excluded branded traffic, also excluded some existing customers to prevent their return through this campaign. And what that did was it forced Google to really approach a new customer acquisition focus. We also, when we're running this campaign, we set a very low TROAS. So we use the bidding strategy of, we'll see it on here. We use the bidding strategy of target ROAS, right? And by setting a low TROAS on this campaign, it told Google, hey, we want you to prospect for new customers. Even if we're getting a lower return, we want you to find new customers for the campaign. Now, even though our return was still really, really high in this case, still at 46 ROAS, it was set lower than some of the other campaigns, which we'll get to soon, due to the fact that we wanted to ensure we were targeting new customer acquisition primarily, right? Now, I will also briefly touch on the fact that our branded search campaign was set to manual CPC, right? If you're running a branded search campaign, even if it's really high volume, you want to be either using manual CPC or target impression share as your bidding strategy. This removes the automated focus from Google. It forces Google to not inflate your bids, right? If you set a very hard manual CPC ceiling, Google cannot inflate your bids using automated bidding procedures, which it sometimes does if you use automated bidding on a branded campaign. So that is why we're using manual CPC, and it worked very well for us. Next up, we have our search generic campaign, which represents a non-branded search campaign. Now, these don't always perform super well for e-commerce brands. I will preface by saying that. Often the search campaigns are a little bit lower efficiency than shopping campaigns because they don't have the benefit of presenting a image, a price, basically that whole little shopping listing with all of that really rich information. We don't get that with a search ad, right? We just get a bunch of text, maybe some site links and extensions, but not as much information to convince the buyer to come through to your product, right? And for that reason, it was only running at an 11x ROAS, which still I know is really, really good. But in the case of this brand, it was about 4 times lower than our non-branded shopping campaign, right? Despite this, it still performed reasonably well. We used maximized conversion value with target ROAS. The target ROAS here, we pretty much just stuck it at the level which we were basically targeting for the campaign, which was around this 11, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. We just kept it there to try and keep up the ROAS in this campaign while still being scalable, right? I want to make sure we weren't limiting ourselves in any way, and we weren't in this case you always want to make sure that you are not limiting yourself when you're using a target ROAS spreading strategy. It's very easy to set the target ROAS too high, too ambitious, to really try and get a high ROAS. And what that's going to do is going to prevent your campaign from spending. It's going to pull back your overall spend, and it's going to prevent you from scaling. Ultimately, it's going to get you stuck in a lot of cases. So make sure that your target ROAS is either set to a sensible value to maintain while scaling, or it's set a little bit lower than you may like to try and scale a little bit quicker. Next up, we have our branded shopping campaign. Now, again, this is very, very similar to our branded search campaign, but this one uses shopping listings to drive branded traffic through to the account. So this is people who are searching for our brand name, and they're selecting a shopping listing after they search for our brand name, coming through the shopping ad and into our website. Again, we use manual CPC for the bidding strategy on here. Now, branded shopping is a little bit more difficult to get right. There's a few things you have to do in order to do so. First of all, you need to exclude all your branded traffic from any other shopping campaigns. So you need to make sure that this shopping campaign here is fully excluding branded traffic. You need to make sure your PMAX campaigns are also fully excluding branded traffic. You can do that by submitting a form to Google Customer Support. If you just search Google for a PMAX exclusion form, it will come up. You submit that to Google, and they'll apply a negative keyword list to your PMAX campaign. So we have to do that. Additionally, if you have the capability to do so, you can download some shopping, some scripts to assist you in targeting branded shopping traffic in shopping campaigns, right? So there's scripts that you can get online. If you are looking for one, please feel free to comment down below. I have got them linked in an older video though. So the scripts for shopping basically allow you to exclude any terms from your search terms and from your keywords that are not branded terms. So it just keeps your brand name in there and just keeps really, really strict targeting to your brand name alone, and just people who are searching for your brand, driving them directly through to your shopping campaign. And then finally, we had the PMAX campaign. Now, PMAX is a very touchy campaign. Some people really hate it. Some people use it religiously. I like to use it under very strict guidelines and limits. So in our case, we were running this PMAX AU campaign with a very, very tight regulation, right? So like I said before, we applied a negative keyword list to this campaign to exclude any branded traffic from coming through. We did this by, again, Googling the PMAX exclusion form and going through that route there. Once we've done that, we also set a higher TROAS on this campaign. So we used the TROAS bidding strategy and set a higher TROAS in comparison to our shopping campaign, which basically encouraged Google to go after remarketing within this campaign, right? As I'm sure you're aware, PMAX has really, really impressive remarketing capabilities. It's really good at following people around the internet and showing your ads to them everywhere, every step along the way. So the benefit with encouraging remarketing in this campaign is that you're very likely to get some follow-up purchases, get a high ROAS, and be able to effectively remarket people who have visited your list, visited your ad already through the new customer acquisition shopping ad. And what this all does is it creates an ecosystem where you scale up and bring in a lot of new customers through your new customer acquisition shopping campaign, bring them into your ecosystem, start retargeting them with PMAX ads, keep them in with your branded search ads, and then ultimately drive a very high quality funnel. That is all for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, if you're looking for any additional help with Google Ads, please feel free to book a call with me down below. But aside from that, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.